who deserves to be up here as well. And I'm wrapping up. Please, I'm wrapping up. I will wrap up. Please turn the music off. I've done this before. Thank you.
And we realized yesterday that Adrian Brody, he'd still be talking if the music did not play him off twice. He is now the Guinness Book World Record holder for the longest acceptance speech of all time in Oscars history, nearly 6 minutes long. I think it clocked in around 5 minutes and 49 seconds.
And did you see him courteously throw his gum to his wife as he walked up the stairs?
No, I missed that part and all of that.
Yeah, it's a big thing on social right now that he's just like, here, hold my gum. That's disgusting.
Yeah, it was a weird thing. And
that's a swallow your gum moment.
Weird.
Yeah, weird dude. We bring it up because, if you did not know this, if you're newer to the show, Sarah lived in New York City for 6 years before she moved back to her home state of North Carolina. And every now and then, there's just this New York story that pops up and, oh, yeah, this person, and oh, yeah, that happened to me. I did not realize you had an Adrian Brody connection, Sarah. Yeah, I mean, it's like the best actor from the Academy Awards Sunday night.
No, not at all. But so I worked in Soho, and I worked at a restaurant called Osteria Marini, and let me tell you, the Bear, they go out and they get drinks and whatnot after work. Mm-hmm. That is very real. And we would go out till like 5:30 in the morning. It was so fun. And so after a night like that, I was going to work. I worked as the party coordinator, so I had to be there early, around 9 a.m., and then I'd work at night. It was long days.
Sure.
And, oh, man, I was hungover. God, I was like so badly hungover. I'm like underslept. Under rested.
Yeah, eyes feeling narrow.
Oh, God. And so I'm like, limping to work with my beat up fake leather jacket that the fake leather was evident from where my bag was. It's flaking off and just, looking awesome. I'm just like limping to work like a troll, just like, oh, God, just get me to my desk so I can fall asleep for 10 minutes. And I hear this person behind me like, oh, yeah. This is like 9 in the morning. This like having the best damn time, loud as hell on their phone. And I'm like, who is this chipper person behind me? I hate them. And so I look behind me like, oh, like I turn around like a gremlin. Like a gremlin and look at him. And it's Adrian Brody 5 feet behind me. He looks at me and I mean, yeah, I lost my chance with him at that moment.
It was interesting. Adrian might have been walking 5 feet behind you, but his nose was actually 2 feet in front of you.
Funny.
And you, but no, did you ever get a chance to serve that guy? Because
oh yeah, he came into our restaurant. A lot of Soho's got a lot of celebrities.
Yeah,
right.
And so he came in one night, and he was just
smug.
He was smug. He got really drunk. He showed his, as we say in the South, showed his butt. When he left, all of us were like, God, what an idiot. Not an Adrian Brody fan.
What an idiot. What
was he mean to
people? Things?
He wasn't mean. He was just like
intoxicated.
He was so loud and making a scene.
Yeah. Did he have that air of Adrian Brody is here?
Yeah.
Kind of making a big scene because he's Adrian Brody.
Yeah. So,
it's interesting to think about it. It reminds me of what you said to start this conversation, that he is the guy that threw the gum into the audience to his wife. He would be the guy that would make the scene and be like, look who I am, Adrian Brody.
And it was a really small restaurant. Like some restaurants in New York are bigger. This is a one-room restaurant, and it was really tightly, it's very tightly seated. So for him to make a scene was just like, it was even bigger in this small restaurant.
Sure.
And all of us were just like, ugh
cringe.
I love your New York stories, Sarah.
Oh, I have so many.
You're connected to so many different random celebrities. It's hilarious just because you worked in the
Don't get me started on Brooke Shields.
Restaurant industry and Katherine Heigl too.
Oh,
good start.
My favorite.
Catherine
I know
Heigl.
you got your not your Wine and Dandy podcast. That's one you used to do. Sarah Has Questions podcast. You could have a New York centric podcast where you just talk about all the ridiculous things that Sarah did in New York City. It's a good time.
Yeah, well,
it's a
the
good time.
problem is I never remember the stories until something comes up and reminds me,
919-860-1015. Thank you for sharing your
you're welcome.
Met Adrian Brody
still
story.
Remembers the witchy lady on
and the flaky leather jacket you were wearing.
So bad that morning. So bad.
What was looking
You're
like
the inspiration behind the brutalist.
I think so.
or the
Look at that strong, sturdy woman.
The shoulders
The
on that
shoulder
one.
able to withstand any weather event.
God, she looks
Yeah.
so sick.
For Sarah, she was a blend of the brutalist and also the substance, Brian, evidently.
That's 100%
that
true.
was Sarah, New York
I would
days.
have loved an alter ego to pop out and have a better day than I did that day.
What is your met your celebrity moment? Good, bad, indifferent? How did it go for you? Because sometimes we meet these people we see all the time. And you're like, oh man, no, this is not how I want them
Yeah.
to be. What was that met your celebrity moment for you? 919-860-1115.
By Swift Brothers Plumbing, HVAC, and Electrical. You can expect fast service, fair pricing, and quality service from the team at Swift Brothers.
Hello, morning fam. Welcome to Wednesday. It's Kyle, Brian, and Sarah on Mix. A moment ago, Sarah shared one of her great New York memories, and that was the fact that she ran into Best Actor winner from the Oscars, Adrian Brody, not once but multiple times in New York
Yes,
days.
and one night he came in for dinner and showed his butt, as we like to say in the South.
A little bit too much to drink
Yeah.
for Adrian.
He was loud. He was, look at me.
Look at me, which
wearing
is
a-
so
Boo.
obnoxious.
It is so obnoxious.
And on top of that, you mentioned he was, and don't get me wrong, I'd wear the crap out of this, but he's doing all of that while wearing a...
Well, no, this is the second one. When he followed me after I was hungover one day and on his phone and like living his best life while I was dying of a hangover. I turned around to look at him like the Wicked Witch of the West, and he had on a beautiful velvet blazer that Brian
Nice.
Lord would have loved.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, all colored like Grimace from McDonald's. I'm
Darker.
into it.
We
Darker
have,
than Grimace?
Uh-huh. I'm telling you, it was awesome.
Blacker the berry.
We
Let's
got
go.
Riley with us right now. Good morning, Riley. What was that famous person that you met? Tell us your story.
Me and my husband went to the Weird Al concert and got to meet him afterwards.
Okay.
What do you mean it's not as exciting? That's
Well,
extremely exciting.
Well, see, because I think every one of his concerts, he sells like the meet and greet package. So he's actually like very obtainable to meet. Like, so there was like hundreds of people who met him. So it wasn't like a unique experience, but it was still pretty cool.
Still.
Doesn't matter. I haven't met him. Have you?
No, definitely
And
not.
I want to meet him, don't you?
Yes, 100%. I love Weird Al Yankovic. So what was
Yeah,
he
it was
like
cool.
when you met him? Was he one of those people that's generous with their time during a meet and greet? Did you guys strike up a conversation?
Well, so it was kind of rushed a little bit because they had like the whole line that they had to
Right.
get through.
Yeah,
but,
that makes sense.
So we did the photo line, and then it was like a whole thing. Then we had like dinner, and then we went back through where you could meet him again and get something autographed. And when we did that line, we were the last in line, so we actually got to like stay for several minutes and speak to him for a long time. It was great.
That's awesome. I'll tell you what, if I had a picture with Weird Al, it would be my Christmas card that year.
It'd have to be.
Riley, thank you for that great story. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you, too.
You know, I think Weird Al was here a couple of years ago,
He's going to be here in July.
and that's exactly where I was
Yep,
going. He's
red
going to
hat.
be here this summer. So you two love yourself some Weird Al. So I think this is on your summer to-do list
I
coming up.
think that we need to get that man in studio if possible.
Oh,
You guys
please.
love the guy.
I would die.
You have an accordion? He has an accordion. That's it.
Coming up in 3 minutes, WRAL's Elizabeth Gardner joins the show with the latest weather forecast. It's coming up in 3 minutes on Mix.
Way back home in Michigan.